Hey everybody, we're going to make our keychains, just something really simple. We're just going to piggyback off all of the things that we've kind of been toying with, but we're going to introduce one new tool today, and it's a fairly easy one. So we're going to start off with a new file, and let's call this your last name. Mine happens to be Kern. Your first name, mine happens to be Josh. Let's call this initials keychain. And then I'm going to make this in inches first, and then let's go ahead and type in 5 by 5. And everything else can just be left alone. So this is going to have a 5-inch by 5-inch artboard here. So what we're going to do first is make our keychain. So I'm going to hit L and drag out a circle, but rather than dragging it out, we're going to make something very specific in size. So when I click, rather than drag out, I can set the size of this. So I want this to be 5 by 5. And if you didn't set yours increments to inches at the first menu, that's okay. You can just type in 5 and then put IN, and it will convert it for you. Anyhow, and I lied. That's the size of our artboard. Let's do this 2 by 2. And then we'll hit OK. So there is a 2 by 2 circle here. And this is going to be about the size of our keychain. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make another circle, and I'm going to make this, I don't know, 0.5 by 0.5. Just kind of guessing here, and don't know why that happened. So, oh, there we go. 0.5 by 0.5. Okay, and then I'm going to move this right around here. Okay, and this is where we're going to have a little hole cut for our keychain so we can put the hardware on there. So what we need to do, here's the new tool I'm going to introduce to you today. The hotkey is Shift M, and this is the shape builder tool. And you can see the little hint there where you can connect shapes. Boom, so now you have one full shape. And so if I select this one and this one together and then hit Shift M, I can just draw a line through these, and now they're connected. But it's also pretty cool. I'm going to change the color here so you can see it. I can also cut out things. So similarly to what we had done earlier in the Power of Line when we were cutting up that rectangle with our lines, and we were using the divide tool. So if I select all of that and come over here, we were using that divide tool. The shape builder tool does some similar things. And so what I'm going to do is make a little teeny tiny circle. Just going to kind of eyeball this. And that's where my hardware will go. Maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and I'm going to put some color in it just so it's easy to grab with my cursor. Okay, and I'm just going to put that right there. And I'm going to highlight this and then hit Shift M. And rather than drawing a line through it with the plus, if I hold Option, I can do a negative, and I'm just going to click in there, and now it knocks it out. And so we can use other shapes to interact with each other to build upon. And that's the shape builder tool. So here is our keychain, and I'm actually going to get rid of the fill on this. So I'll just make that a no fill. Right there, bam, okay. And this is going to be cut out in the glowforge, and the way that we tell the glowforge we want this to cut out is we're going to make the stroke color to be red. All right, so there is essentially my keychain shape. So what you're going to do today is put a letter in here. So I'm going to hit T, and I'm not going to drag out a box. Don't do that. And if you did, undo. Just click once, and then I'm going to type Kern, or K, and so I have a nice letter K there. This type tool is kind of finicky, and you just kind of have to toy with it. I'm going to hit Escape, so I'm off that, and now I have my black arrow tool, and then I can stretch this out. I'm going to hold Shift to make sure that it looks good. All right, and I'm going to get back into the type tool. You can see, and when I hit T, when that box disappears, it means I'm about ready to interact with this one. But if I just have it right here, it means it's going to make another text box, at which I don't want that to happen. And I'm just going to highlight it, and inside your properties menu you can adjust the size right here as well. But what I'm going to do is look for a really thick font, and I know that we have Helvetica bold or even condensed black, and that's going to be a really thick font, and that's the one that I want. So if I hit V for my tool, whoops, I don't want that. I'm going to hit Command Z and then escape, then hit V for my black arrow tool. And I want this to be fairly big inside here. And once I know that I have this set, I'm going to make this K a shape. So right now it's a letter and it has type properties. You know, I can change this, I can delete it, I can add to it. And what I want to do is actually treat it like a shape. And in order to do that, we can right click on our K, and then we can do this, what's called create outlines. And now it's a shape. And so now I can come over here and use my white arrow even and make some adjustments to my K. So now it's a shape. So we're going to use our letters as kind of the cookie cutter or the clipping mask. And I'm going to flip-flop these, bam. So, and I'm going to make a little extra copy here. So here's my durable shape, and then here will be my clipping mask shape. And in fact, I'm going to delete that because I'm going to make this K a little bit bigger, like that. I'm going to put that right in the center of my artwork there. In fact, I can select both of these and then hit center. Now they're aligned up. Great. Okay, and I'm going to drag out a copy of that just so I have one there. And so now what you're going to do is something similar to what we did in the Power of Line, where we're going to create some lines essentially. And I'm going to do something real boring right now just so I can get this tutorial done. But you've done some amazing, cool things. This laser cutter can cut down to the size of a hair follicle. So if you do some really nice designs, they could look pretty neat. And here's one that you actually haven't seen before. So I'll model it with you right now. Select all of those. And if we go to the mesh tool, this thing right here, and what I can do is, well, no, not necessarily. I'll save that for another day, okay? So we've got these lines right here. Maybe I might even go up to, I mean, I don't want this to be very geometric. I want it to be a little bit loose. So I might do a little bit of distort and transform, and then perhaps maybe do a little bit of a twist on it. Okay, hit OK. And then what I'm going to do is take this line over here. I'm going to use my K to actually cut that out. So in order for that to happen, we can remember that we have to have the K on top. And so I'm going to hit Command C to copy, Command C to copy the K, and Command Shift V to paste it on top. And I'm going to select all of this right here. Now let's go right click and make clipping mask and out. And so now we've got that inside our letter. And so when we take this to the glowforge, it's going to it's going to take its laser and it's going to go through this. And so we've got a pattern inside there. I'm also going to add a few other things to this. So maybe just another like circle for that to go around. I have to make that smaller. Anyhow, real simple exercise. We'll then take these and we'll paint them. We'll cut them out in the laser cutter and then we'll paint them. So something pretty easy, something pretty fast. What I want you to do is don't worry about turning this in right now because there's a few things that I want to check off before you submit it, because we are going to put these in the laser. And yeah, that's it. Pretty easy one.